ERCIES at CV. We talk a lot on this channel about heart, about passion, and about dying for the badge. And yes, you need fire in your belly to wear the gold and black. But let's be honest with each other for a minute. Passion wins you games. Tactics win championships. Today, we are not looking for a miracle against Masry. We are looking for a masterclass. You do not beat an Egyptian giant by hoping for luck. You beat them by dismantling their system piece by piece. We have studied the tapes, and the path to victory is clear. It is precise. It is ruthless. It comes down to discipline. It means cutting off their oxygen on the wings, stopping that deadly cross before it even leaves the boot, and suffocating them with a high press that they are not expecting in this heat. If we execute the plan, we take the points. It is that simple. So stop scrolling, focus, and grab your notepad. Here is the blueprint to taking down the Egyptians. Let's get into the tactical breakdown. Tactical blueprint. This is the war room. This is where we stop playing with emotion and start playing with intelligence. We have analyzed the tapes, we have looked at the data, and the path to victory against Masry is clear, but it is narrow. We have to be perfect. There are 4 pillars to this masterclass, and we cannot let a single one of them crumble. First, and perhaps most critical, is the defensive mandate: nullify the wings. You have to understand the DNA of Egyptian football. Whether it is Masry, Zamalek, or Al-Ali, the philosophy is the same. They do not want to dribble through the center where it is crowded. They want to stretch you. They want to make the pitch look huge. They are masters of the diagonal switch and the early cross. They don't wait to get to the byline. They whip that ball in from deep, behind your defensive line, causing chaos before your center backs are set. The instruction to our fullbacks today is non-negotiable. You cannot get sucked inside. It is a natural instinct. When the ball is on the other side, you want to drift in to protect the center. Today, you fight that instinct. You stay wide. You stay glued to that touchline. If our fullbacks lose their discipline and get pulled into the middle, Masry will switch the play, and we will be dead in the water. We saw this movie against Stellenbosch. We lost our shape, we got narrow, and suddenly the ball was in our net. That goal against Stellies must be the wake-up call. If we allow easy crosses into our box today, we will suffer. We'd have to force them back inside, into the traffic, where we have the numbers. Do not give them the width. Do not give them the air. Second, let's talk about the sword we use to strike back. The offensive weapon is Glody Lilepo. Let's be honest with ourselves. In the last few weeks, who's looked like scoring? Who's made you stand up off your couch? It's Lilepo. He has been the only clinical finisher in a sea of missed chances, but a weapon is useless if you don't know how to use it. The problem we have seen is that we build up too slowly. We pass sideways, we let the defense organize, and by the time Lilepo gets the ball, he has 3 defenders on him. The tactic today is verticality. Do not overcomplicate the build-up. We don't need 20 passes to score a goal. We need 3 right ones. We need to feed Lilepo early. When the transition happens, the first look from Sirino or Mark must be forward. Put the ball into space. Make him run. We need Lilepo isolated one-on-one against their fullback. That is the mismatch. That is where the money is. When Lilepo runs at a defender, the whole stadium believes. You can feel the electricity shift. He is the difference maker, but the team has to serve him correctly. Give him the ball while the chaos is still happening, not after the dust has settled. Third, we need a massive mental shift, a high press. We cannot afford to be passive. Against Stellenbosch, especially in the second half, we committed a cardinal sin. We sat back. We invited them onto us. We dropped deeper and deeper until we were defending inside our own 6-yard box. That is a death sentence. You cannot play with fear. The solution today is bravery. We must press high. We are playing at home. It is our stadium, our grass, and our heat. We must make the Egyptians uncomfortable in their own half. The Polokwane factor is real, but only if we use it. If we let them walk with the ball, they won't feel the heat. But if we suffocate them, if we chase every back pass, if we sprint at their goalkeeper, then the heat becomes our 12th man. They will get tired. They will make mistakes. We have to set the trap high up the pitch. Do not let them breathe. Do not let them settle into that slow, rhythmic passing game that North African teams love. Disrupt them, harass them, break their rhythm before it even starts. Finally, we look to the leader, the captain's role, Yusuf Mart, and the tempo. This game will be emotional. It will be frantic. There will be moments where Masry tries to counter-attack with speed, and there will be moments where the game feels like it is spinning out of control. This is where Yusuf Mart earns his armband. He is the thermostat. He controls the temperature. His responsibility today is game management. When the Egyptians break, Mart must be the one to break the play, even if it means a tactical foul. Take the yellow card for the team if you have to, but do not let them transition. And when we have the ball, he dictates the pace. If we are chasing the game, he drives us forward. But, and this is crucial, if we are leading, or if the team is gasping for air, he needs to put his foot on the ball. Slow it down, kill their momentum, frustrate them, make them come to us. He needs to recognize the emotional state of the team and adjust the dial. We need a general in the middle, not just another soldier. If we execute these 4 things, discipline on the wings, feeding Lilepo early, pressing high, and controlling the tempo, we win the war. We take the 3 points, and we take control of our destiny. But if we ignore even one of them, if we switch off for 1 second, the math on the table turns against us, and the dream fades away.
Now, listen to me closely. The media team has been working tirelessly behind the scenes to capture the raw emotion, the stakes, and the history of this massive clash. This isn't just a standard preview video. It is a cinematic experience designed to get your blood pumping before a single ball is kicked. We are taking you deep into the heart of the battle. So sit back, turn up the volume, and let's listen to what our fellow creator has crafted for us. This is the Polokwane ultimatum.
Sanabanani family. This is Anna with the pulse of the Amakhosi. You know, Aaron talks about the blueprint and Bra Mike talks about the war. But I want to talk about the soul of this team. Because Kaizer Chiefs, it is not just 11 men kicking a ball on a Sunday. It is an institution. It is 56 years of gold and black glory woven into the history of this country. We are the children of Operation Vat Allahs. We are the warriors who lifted the Mandela Cup when the whole continent was watching us. That DNA doesn't just disappear because of one bad result. Sometimes when the road is hard, like it is today, you have to look back at where you came from to find the courage to move forward. The boys in that dressing room need to know that they are standing on the shoulders of giants. So, before we fight for the future in Polokwane, let's take a moment to remember who we actually are. This is our story. Close your eyes for a moment, Cozy Nation. Close them and let the noise of the modern world fade away. Let the frustration of the Nedbank Cup, the stress of the league table, and the noise of social media dissolve into silence. I want to take you back. I want to take you to a time before the stadiums had roof coverings, before the internet, before the lights were quite so bright. I want to take you back to the dust, to the struggle, and to the spark that started a fire that would eventually burn across an entire continent. The year is 1970. It is January the 7th, a date etched into the soul of South African culture. From the other side of the world, a young man returned home. He was not just a footballer, he was a visionary. His name was Kaizer Motong. They called him Chincha Guluva, the man with the quick feet, the man with the swagger, the man who could make a football talk. He had been across the ocean, playing in the United States of America for the Atlanta Chiefs. He saw something there. He saw professionalism. He saw how a club could be more than just 11 men chasing a leather ball on a Saturday afternoon. He saw that a football club could be a brand, a family, a business, and a movement. When he landed back on African soil, he didn't just bring back his boots, he brought back a blueprint. He gathered a band of brothers, expelled, perhaps, from other places, outcasts who needed a home, and he founded a dynasty. He needed a name that carried the weight of his ambition. He took his own first name, Kaizer, a name fit for royalty, a name that demands respect. and he fused it with the name of the team that had taught him the professional game in America, the Chiefs. Kaizer Chiefs. Do you hear the power in that name? It wasn't Kaizer United or Kaizer FC. It was Chiefs, leaders, rulers. From day one, the intention was clear. This was not a project designed to participate. It was a project designed to lead. It was a statement of intent that echoed through the townships of Soweto and vibrated across the entire nation. We were born from ambition. We were born from the desire to be excellent in a time when excellence was denied to so many of us. That is the genesis. That is the blood that runs in the veins of this club. And oh, how that child grew. As the years turned into decades, Kaizer Chiefs became a juggernaut. We moved into an era that the history books now call the Golden Era. If you were there, you remember the feeling of invincibility. There was a time, specifically around the turn of the millennium, where we coined a phrase that still sends shivers down the spines of our rivals: Operation Vat Alles. Translate that in your heart. Take everything, not take some, not take what is offered. Take everything. It was a time of pure gluttony for silverware. The trophy cabinet at Naturena began to groan under the weight of the gold. We didn't just win matches, we conquered seasons. We didn't just beat opponents, we demoralized them. But amidst all that domestic dominance, there is one trophy that shines brighter than the rest in the context of where we stand today. The 2001 Mandela Cup. We are preparing to face Al Masry in a CAF competition on Sunday, and many people forget, or maybe they are too young to know, that we are royalty in Africa. In 2001, we set our eyes on the African Cup Winners' Cup, the trophy named after the father of our nation, Nelson Mandela. The pressure was immense. The continent looked at us and asked, can the glamour boys do it on the hard pitches of Africa? And we answered. We marched through the continent. And in the final, against Inter Luanda of Angola, we didn't just win, we ascended. We lifted a continental trophy. We brought the gold of Africa back to Village, Maine. We proved that the gold and black is not just a domestic jersey, it is a continental heavyweight. That star above our badge? It is not decoration, it is a scar of battle. It is proof that we have been to the mountaintop before. And of glory we have built since then. 4 Premier Soccer League titles in the modern era. Countless cups, the top 8s, the knockout cups, the Telkom knockouts. We are, factually and statistically, the most decorated club in South African football history. That is not an opinion. That is a matter of record. But it is more than just the medal, isn't it? It is the culture. It is the love and peace sign. It is the way 2 fingers raised in the air became a universal language of greeting for millions of people. It is the sea of gold and black flooding the FNB Stadium, creating an atmosphere that rivals the Maracana in Brazil or the San Siro in Italy. It is the sound of the vuvuzela, the rhythm of the diski, the swagger of players like Dr. Kumalo, Asen Solingo, Skaran Gobis. We didn't just play football, we played music. We gave the country a style. We gave the country joy when joy was hard to find. Which brings us to now. It brings us to the bridge we must cross this Sunday. When the current squad steps out of the tunnel at the Peter Mokaba Stadium to face Al Masry, they need to understand something very profound. They are not just 11 professional athletes doing a job. They are not just playing for 3 points to move up a group table. They are stepping into the shoes of giants. Every pass they make ripples through 56 years of history. Every tackle they make echoes the spirit of the legends who bowled for this badge. When you put on that jersey, that gold and black shirt, you are carrying the weight of Kaizer Moton's vision in 1970. You are carrying the swagger of Operation Vat Alles. You are carrying the memories of the 2001 Mandela Cup. The burden of playing for Kaizer Chiefs is heavy. It is heavy because the standard is impossible. The standard is perfection. We do not celebrate participating in the CAF Confederation Cup. We do not celebrate getting out of the group. Small teams celebrate participation. Kaizer Chiefs celebrates dominance. We belong in the finals. We belong on the podium with confetti raining down on our shoulders. That is our natural habitat. So, to the players and to every fan watching this right now, understand the stakes. Masry is a tough opponent, yes, but they are playing against a legacy. They are playing against a spirit that has survived decades of struggle and decades of glory. On Sunday, in the heat of Polokwane, we are not just defending a goalpost. We are not just defending a scoreline. We are defending a legacy. We are defending the honor of the king, and we must not let it.
Welcome back to the studio, family. Now, you know we don't just speculate here on KAIZERCHIES TV. We get the truth straight from the source. We've got our senior correspondent, the legend himself, Mike, who has been camping outside the gates of the village since the sun came up this morning. He's braving the heat to get us the scoop. Mike, can you hear me? Look, brother, let's cut through the PR talk. We all saw the tears after that Stellenbosch game. Be honest with us. After that Nedbank Cup heartbreak, what is the actual mood on the ground at Matchday right now? Is it quiet, or are they fired up?
Hida hola, my brother. Hida hola to the cozy nation watching at home. Can I hear you? Yibo. Look, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I'm not gonna stand here and paint a pretty picture just because the camera is on. You ask about the mood? Eesh, tough, very tough. After that whistle blew against Stellenbosch, it was like a funeral here at the village. I saw grown men crying Baba. Genuine tears. Not because we lost a football match, but because we lost our pride. The Nedbank Cup is our cup. To go out like that, it cut deep. The players walked past us with their heads down. The parking lot was silent. It was heavy, my brother. The ancestors were quiet. But, and this is a big but, today is a new day. I've been here since 5 a.m., watching the security open the gates, smelling the grass being cut. And let me tell you something, the air feels different today. I saw the bus arrive. I saw the faces. There were no smiles, no jokes, just eyes, focused eyes. I saw Inacio Miguel walking in, and he looked like a soldier going to the front line. The mood isn't happy, the mood is war. We don't mourn forever, family. We grieve, we wash our faces, and we reload. Today, Netrena doesn't feel like a hospital. It feels like a military base. We are wounded, yes, but a wounded buffalo is the most dangerous animal in the bush. The boys know that if they don't fight today, they can't come back home. So the mood? It's electric anxiety, my brother. We are ready to explode.
Now, let's switch gears for a second. We talk a lot about tactics and formations, but I want to get into the heart of the matter. In this current squad right now, who is your absolute favorite player? I'm talking about the one guy you would trust with your life to save this match. Name him and tell me why he's the one.
You want me to choose one child? Okay. Look, in this current squad, there are a lot of talented boys. But talent alone doesn't wear the gold and black. You need heart. You need Omoya. For me, right now, it has to be Glody Lilepo. Let me tell you why. I watch these games with my heart in my mouth. When the team is down, when the heads drop, when the fans start whistling, look at who is still running. It's Lilepo. That boy from Congo, he understands what this badge means better than some of the guys born here. I remember a moment against Matchday. We were struggling. The ball wasn't moving. Lilepo chased a lost cause, a ball that was going out for a throw-in. He sprinted 40 meters, slid on the grass, kept it in, and won us a corner. That is fight. That is passion. He doesn't just want the salary. He wants the glory. He runs when others walk. He shoots when others pass. When he gets the ball, I stand up. My wife knows, when Bra Mike stands up, Lilepo has the ball. He is my main man today. If we are going to win, it's because Lilepo carried us on his back.
Mike, we need some inspiration before kickoff. The youngsters watching might not remember the glory days. You've been a cozy fan for decades. You've seen the highs and the lows. Take us back. What is your best moment ever as a cozy fan? Remind these M1s what it really feels like when the Glamour Boys conquer Africa.
Ish, now you are making me emotional. You are taking me back to the Holy Grail. Youngsters, listen to Bra Mike carefully. Put down your phones and listen. You see us struggling in the league. You think this is Kaizer Chiefs. No. Let me tell you who we really are. The year was 2001, the era of Operation Vat Owls. We were not just a team, we were a machine. We took the league, we took the cups, but the big one, the one that matters today, was the CAF African Cup Winners' Cup, the Mandela Cup. I was there, my brother. I was in the stands. We had legends. We had Brian Spider-Man Baloyi in goal. Nothing got past him. We had Arthur 10,111, Zwing flying down the wing like a jet engine. And we had the magician, Jabu Shuffle Pool. When Jabu had the ball, the stadium didn't breathe. He danced with the defenders. I remember the final against Inter Luanda. The tension, the heat, but we didn't fear them. We played with swagger. When we lifted that trophy, named after Tata Madiba himself, I cried tears of joy. I looked at the sky and I said, "We are the kings of Africa." That feeling, watching the gold and black ribbons on an African trophy, that is who we are. We are not a small team fighting for a draw. We are royalty. We have conquered this continent before, and we can do it again. These players today need to channel the spirit of 2001. They need to play like Spider-Man, play like 10,111, play like Shuffle. The history is not a burden, it's a fuel.
Okay, let's get down to business before I let you go. Put your coaching cap on for me. We know the injury list is a nightmare. No Frosler, no Castillo. The midfield is thin. It's a headache for Cedric Hayes. So, who starts? Give me your starting XI to beat Al Masry today. Do you risk the new signings or stick to what we know?
Okay, Coach Mike is on duty. Let's get serious. The injury list is a disaster, I know. No Frosler, no Castillo, no Ox. It's a mess, but we make a plan. Here is my starting XI to destroy Al Masry. In goal, it has to be Bruce Guma. He's got the experience now. He knows the pressure. We need safe hands today, no fancy stuff. The defense. This is where it gets tricky. On the right, give me Dylan Solomons. Why? Speed. The Egyptians are fast. Solomons is faster. We need him to recover when they counter. On the left, since Cross is out, I'm putting Edmilson Dove. He's a soldier. He fights. He can tuck in and become a third center back if we need to defend. In the middle, the Twin Towers. Given Nsemango and Thatayon Dilhakwi. TD is back, and we need his leadership. They need to be a wall today. The midfield. This is the heartbeat. Yusuf Mart, the captain. He has to step up. No hiding today. He needs to control the tempo. And next to him, I'm going with the young blood, Sankalo Zwayne. The boy can pass. He can see angles nobody else sees. Let the youngster cook. The attack. This is where we kill them. On the left, Mufundo Obrigado Villakazi. The boy is tricky. Let him dance. On the right, Christian Sale. He runs all day. He will press their defense until they make a mistake. In the hole, the number 10, Gaston Sirino. The brain, the conductor. Everything goes through him. And up front, my main man, Glody Lilepo. Put him in the box and feed him. That is the team, my brother. Solomons for speed, Go for grit, Zwayne for creativity, and Lilepo for goals. If Kaz plays this team, Al Masry is going back to Cairo with 0 points. Amakhosi for life. Peace.
me. Amakhosi, let's take a breath. Let's just take a moment to breathe, because the air around Natrena feels heavy right now, doesn't it? We are all still carrying the weight of what happened just a few days ago. That scoreboard against Stellenbosch, 2-1. A scoreline that feels like a punch to the gut. We looked at the Nedbank Cup and we saw our redemption. We saw a path to silverware that felt tangible, something we could touch. And in 90 minutes of football, that door slammed shut. But I am not here to mourn the Nedbank Cup. I am here to tell you that we do not have the luxury of time to feel sorry for ourselves. We cannot sit in the shadows and lick our wounds because the sun is rising on a different battlefield. That loss against Stellies changed the entire landscape of our season. It raised the stakes. Before that game, the CAF Confederation Cup was a prestigious journey, a beautiful bonus. Today, it is our lifeline. It is the only salvation left for the 2025/2026 season. The pressure has shifted from, it would be nice to win, to we must survive. We find ourselves in Group T. The experts called it the group of death, and they weren't lying. We are swimming in deep waters with the sharks of the continent. And right now, the margin for error is zero. We are walking a tightrope, and the wind is blowing. Let's strip away the emotion for a second and look at the cold, hard anatomy of this group table. If you want to understand the danger we are in, you have to respect the math. Group D has evolved into a classic Mexican standoff. It is a three-horse race for 2 seats at the table. First, you have Zamalek, the White Knights of Cairo. They are sitting comfortably at the top, hovering around that 8 or 9 point mark. They have done what giants do. They have picked up points on the road and protected their home. They have 1 foot in the quarterfinals. Then, at the bottom, we have Zesco United. With all due respect to the Zambians, their race is run. They are the bottom runners, the team that the other 3 are using to boost their points tally. They are fighting for pride, but they are not fighting for the cup. And that leaves the war, the real war. It is us, Kaizer Chiefs, and Al Masry. We are locked together. Both of us are sitting on roughly 7 points. We are neck and neck. We are mirror images of each other right now. Think about what that means. We have 3 giants, Zamalek, Al Masry, and Chiefs, and only 2 tickets to the knockout stages. One of these massive clubs is going to go home in February. One of these giants is going to fail. Our entire mission, everything we are doing right now, is to ensure that the name on that exit ticket is not Kaizer Chiefs. Now, I need you to lean in. Turn up the volume, because this is the part where most football fans get it wrong. And this is the part that could kill us if we aren't smart. In the Premier Soccer League, we are conditioned to look at goal difference. We think if we finish on the same points, whoever scored more goals goes through. That is the standard logic. But this is not the PSL. This is Africa. This is the AF. And the CAF rulebook is a different beast entirely. The Confederation of African Football uses head-to-head results as the very first tiebreaker, not goal difference, head-to-head. Why does this matter? It matters because it changes the value of every single goal. It means that if we finish the group stage tied on points with Al Masry, CAF will not look at how many goals we put past Zesco. They won't care if we beat Zesco 5-0 or 10-0. They will look exclusively at the 2 matches played between Kaizer Chiefs and Al Masry. This rule makes the game against Al Masry on February 8th not just a match, but a mathematical lever. If they beat us, or even if we draw in a specific way, they hold the tiebreaker over us. If we end up on the same points, they go through and we go home. The head-to-head rule is the sword hanging over our heads. We cannot rely on thrashing the small teams to save our goal difference. We have to beat our rivals directly. We have to look them in the eye and take the points from their hands. This brings us to the date that will define our destiny. Sunday, February 8th. We are not playing at the FNB Stadium. We are taking this battle north. We're heading to Peter Mokaba Stadium in Polokwane. And there is a reason for this. Polokwane is not just a venue. It is a fortress. The energy at the Peter Mokaba is different. It is raw. It is intense. The fans in Limpopo don't just watch the game, they participate in it. When the stadium is full, when the heat is rising off that pitch, it becomes a suffocating place for visitors. Al Masry is coming from Egypt. They are a technical team. They are disciplined, defensive, and structured. They know that a draw is good for them. They have only come to Peter Mokaba to frustrate us. They will slow the game down. They will feign injuries. They will park the bus and try to hit us on the counter-attack. We cannot let them settle. We need the Peter Mokaba to be a cauldron of noise from the first whistle. We need to make them feel the altitude, feel the heat, and feel the pressure of the gold and black. This is our home turf. We dictate the terms. We cannot be polite hosts. We have to make them uncomfortable. So what happens on Sunday? Let's walk through the three diverging paths of destiny. Scenario A, the dream. We win. If we take all 3 points, we move to 10 points. Masry stays stuck on 7. We open up a 3-point gap with 1 game to go. But more importantly, we secure the head-to-head advantage. This is the checkmate scenario. If we win this game, we are effectively through. We can breathe. The final game becomes a formality. The pressure evaporates. Scenario B, the danger, the draw. This is the scenario that keeps me awake at night. If the game ends 0-0 or 1-1, we are in serious trouble. Both teams would move to 8 points. We stay deadlocked. But here is the trap. Masry's final game is against Zesco, a team they should beat easily. Our final game is against Zamalek in Cairo. If we draw on Sunday, we are gambling with our lives. We are essentially betting that we can go to Egypt and get a result, or praying that Zesco can do us a favor. Relying on other teams is a loser's strategy. A draw in Polokwane feels like a loss because it takes destiny out of our hands. Scenario C, the nightmare, the loss. I don't even want to speak it, but we must be realists. If Al Masry beats us at Peter Mokaba, they move to 10 points. We stay on 7. They would be 3 points ahead of us, and they would own the head-to-head record. Even if we won our last game and they lost theirs, they would beat us on the tiebreaker. A loss on Sunday is the end of the road. It is elimination. It is game over. Why am I putting so much emphasis on Sunday? Because of what waits for us on February 15th. Matchday 6. A trip to the Cairo International Stadium to face Zamalek. If you have never been to a football match in Egypt, you cannot understand the hostility. It is a graveyard for South African teams. The lasers in the eyes of the goalkeeper, the relentless noise, the intimidation. Zamalek in Cairo is a different beast to Zamalek anywhere else. We cannot, I repeat, we cannot go to Cairo needing a win to survive. If we board that plane to Egypt still needing points, we are walking into the lion's den covered in stakes. It is a suicide mission. History tells us that getting a result in North Africa is the hardest task in club football. That is why the job must be finished in Polokwane. We need to win on Sunday so that the trip to Cairo is a celebration, a tactical exercise, a formality. We cannot let our season come down to 90 minutes in Egypt against the White Knights. So, Amakhosi, here is the ultimatum. The Nedbank Cup is gone. That pain is real, but it is in the past. The future is Sunday. The future is Peter Mokaba. I know the players are tired. I know the rotation has been heavy. I know the legs are heavy. But the spirit must be unbreakable. This is the moment where legends are made. This is the moment where we separate the boys from the Kosi. We need you. We don't just need you to watch on TV. We need you to believe. We need you to send that energy to the players. Whether you are in the stands in Polokwane or watching from your living room, the team needs to feel the weight of the badge pushing them forward. It is simple math. Win and we live. Draw and we suffer. Lose and we die. Let's choose life. Let's choose victory. Let's turn Peter Mokaba into a fortress and remind the continent who we are. This is the mission. This is the ultimatum. Amakhosi for life. The pressure, the expectation, the absolute fire that is burning right now at the Peter Mokaba Stadium in Polokwane. It is a scorching hot afternoon here in Limpopo. The sun is beating down on this pitch like a hammer. The air is heavy, it is humid, and it is sticky. It's the kind of African afternoon that tests your lungs, tests your legs, and most importantly, it tests your heart. And let's be honest with each other, Amakhosi, our hearts are still sore. We are all still bleeding a little bit from that wound in the Nedbank Cup. That 2-1 loss to Stellenbosch. It hurt. It was a bitter pill to swallow. I know you are nervous. I know the timeline is full of panic. I know the group chats are quiet, but lift your heads. Lift your heads because the badge demands it. We cannot dwell on the past because the war for Africa is right in front of us. Today, 60 minutes from now, Al Masry steps onto this turf. We are tied on 7 points in Group D, 7 points each. This is it. This is the must-win. This is the moment where we decide if we are just tourists in the CAF Confederation Cup, or if we are the mighty Kaizer Chiefs, the kings of South Africa. Redemption isn't given. Family, it is taken. And we have to take it today in this Polokwane heat. But, and there is a big but today, we have to talk about the team news. And we'll be straight with you. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The medical report coming out of Natrina this week has been a horror movie. If you are sitting down, stay seated. If you are standing up, hold on to something. Let's start with the defense, specifically the flanks. The news is official and it is heady. Bradley Cross is out. Reeve Frosler is out. Let that sink in for a second. Our two primary engines on the wings, the guys who give us that width, that overlap, and that recovery pace, they are watching from the stands today. Tactically, this is a massive headache for the technical team. Against an Egyptian side like Al Masry, who love to overload those wide areas, who love to switch play quickly from left to right, being without Frosler and Cross is like going into a boxing match with one hand tied behind your back. We're going to need our backup options to play the game of their lives. We are exposed, and you better believe Al Masry knows it. They will target those corners. They will try to isolate our fullbacks one-on-one. But if you think the defense is a worry, look at the engine room. Look at the midfield. This is the crisis report. The spine of the team has been stripped bare. We are missing Saibot Nizi, the Ox Mthefwa. We are missing the grit of Edson Castillo. And we are even without Sai Thembasello family. Think about what the Ox brings to this team. He is the destroyer. He is the one who breaks up the play, who puts in the hard tackles, who screams at the opposition. Without him, and without Castillo alongside him, who provides the screen, who protects the back four, we are lacking that bite in the middle of the park. In this heat, when the game gets stretched, when the legs get tired around the 70th minute, you need a monster in the middle to win those second balls. You need someone to put their body on the line. Today, that engine room looks very, very thin. It looks technical maybe, but does it have the steel? Does it have the iron will to bully the Egyptians? That is the question keeping me awake. If we lose the battle in the midfield, if we let them pass around us, it's going to be a very long afternoon in Limpopo. However, do not switch off because the sun is shining on the other side of the pitch. While the defense is patching itself together, the attack is ready to dance. The front line is fully fit, fully loaded, and looking dangerous. We have to talk about the man of the moment, the man who is carrying the hope of the cozy nation on his shoulders right now. Glody Lilepo, the Congolese sniper. He is red hot. You saw him against Stellies. Even in a losing cause, he was the spark. He was the one driving forward, looking for goal. His speed is electric. And against this Al Masry high line, speed is going to be our greatest weapon. Lilepo isn't just running, he's finishing. He's finding those pockets of space. He's hungry. You can see it in his eyes. He wants to be the hero. He wants to be the name you chant tonight. If we get the ball to Lilepo in transition, if we let him run at their defenders, I promise you, we will score. He is the key to unlocking this game. And who is the man to turn that key? Who is the conductor of the orchestra? Gaston Sirino, the brain. He is fit, he is fresh, and he is ready to pull the strings. We need Sirino to be magic today. With the midfield being so thin defensively, we need Sirino to keep the ball. We need him to hide it, to protect it, to make the Egyptians chase shadows. But more than that, we need his vision. We need that one killer pass, that Chibobo, that split-second decision that puts Lilepo through one goal. Sirino knows African football. He knows the dark arts of CAF competitions. He knows how to manage the tempo. If Sirino plays well, Kaizer Chiefs play well. It is that simple. The connection between Sirino and Lilepo is our lifeline today. It is our ray of hope in the Polokwane sun. Now, let's get into the debate that is tearing the timeline apart. The wild card, the new face, the mystery man. Sosa Maniana. We signed him to bolster the squad, but nobody expected him to be thrown into the fire this quickly. But look at the injury list. Look at the holes in the midfield. The technical team has a massive decision to make right now in the dressing room. Do you start Sosa Maniana? Think about the risk. It's his home debut. It's a CAF Confederation Cup match. It's a must-win against Egyptian giants. The pressure is suffocating. If he makes one mistake, one slip, the fans will be on his back. It could destroy his confidence before his Chiefs career even begins. Is it fair to put that weight on him? But then, flip the coin. Think about the reward. We have no defensive midfielders. Maniana is fresh. He is unknown to Al Masry. They haven't planned for him. He has legs, he has energy, he has something to prove. Maybe we need that fearlessness. Maybe we need a player who isn't carrying the baggage of the Stellies loss. Maybe Sosa Maniana is the surprise element that shocks Al Masry. So I'm asking you right now, Cozy Nation, I'm talking to you. If you were the coach, sitting in that sweating dressing room, looking at your broken midfield, do you roll the dice? Do you start the new boy? Would you start Maniana today, yes or no? Because win or lose, broken squad or full squad, When that whistle blows in 60 minutes, we are Amakhosi for life. The players need us. The badge needs us. Let's bring the noise to Polokwane. Now, listen to me closely. The media team has been working tirelessly behind the scenes to capture the raw emotion, the stakes, and the history of this massive clash. This isn't just a standard preview video. It is a cinematic experience designed to get your blood pumping before a single ball is kicked. We are taking you deep into the heart of the battle. So sit back, turn up the volume, and let's listen to what our fellow creator has crafted for us. This is the Polokwane ultimatum.
Sanibonani Cozy Nation. I'm Aaron, and you're watching Kaizerchiefs at TV. We talk a lot on this channel about heart, about passion, and about dying for the badge. And yes, you need fire in your belly to wear the gold and black. But let's be honest with each other for a minute. Passion wins you games. Tactics win championships. Today, we are not looking for a miracle against Masry. We are looking for a masterclass. You do not beat an Egyptian giant by hoping for luck. You beat them by dismantling their system piece by piece. We have studied the tapes, and the path to victory is clear. It is precise. It is ruthless. It comes down to discipline. It means cutting off their oxygen on the wings, stopping that deadly cross before it even leaves the boot, and suffocating them with a high press that they are not expecting in this heat. If we execute the plan, we take the points. It is that simple. So stop scrolling, focus, and grab your notepad. Here is the blueprint to taking down the Egyptians. Let's get into the tactical breakdown. Tactical blueprint. This is the war room. This is where we stop playing with emotion and start playing with intelligence. We have analyzed the tapes, we have looked at the data, and the path to victory against Masry is clear, but it is narrow. We have to be perfect. There are 4 pillars to this masterclass, and we cannot let a single one of them crumble. First, and perhaps most critical, is the defensive mandate: nullify the wings. You have to understand the DNA of Egyptian football. Whether it is Masry, Zamalek, or Al-Ali, the philosophy is the same. They do not want to dribble through the center where it is crowded. They want to stretch you. They want to make the pitch look huge. They are masters of the diagonal switch and the early cross. They don't wait to get to the byline. They whip that ball in from deep, behind your defensive line, causing chaos before your center backs are set. The instruction to our fullbacks today is non-negotiable. You cannot get sucked inside. It is a natural instinct. When the ball is on the other side, you want to drift in to protect the center. Today, you fight that instinct. You stay wide. You stay glued to that touchline. If our fullbacks lose their discipline and get pulled into the middle, Masry will switch the play, and we will be dead in the water. We saw this movie against Stellenbosch. We lost our shape, we got narrow, and suddenly the ball was in our net. That goal against Stellies must be the wake-up call. If we allow easy crosses into our box today, we will suffer. We'd have to force them back inside, into the traffic, where we have the numbers. Do not give them the width. Do not give them the air. Second, let's talk about the sword we use to strike back. The offensive weapon is Glody Lilepo. Let's be honest with ourselves. In the last few weeks, who has looked like scoring? Who has made you stand up off your couch? It's Lilepo. He has been the only clinical finisher in a sea of missed chances, but a weapon is useless if you don't know how to use it. The problem we have seen is that we build up too slowly. We pass sideways, we let the defense organize, and by the time Lilepo gets the ball, he has 3 defenders on him. The tactic today is verticality. Do not overcomplicate the build-up. We don't need 20 passes to score a goal. We need 3 right ones. We need to feed Lilepo early. When the transition happens, the first look from Sirino or Mark must be forward. Put the ball into space. Make him run. We need Lilepo isolated one-on-one against their fullback. That is the mismatch. That is where the money is. When Lilepo runs at a defender, the whole stadium believes. You can feel the electricity shift. He is the difference maker, but the team has to serve him correctly. Give him the ball while the chaos is still happening, not after the dust has settled. Third, we need a massive mental shift, a high press. We cannot afford to be passive. Against Stellenbosch, especially in the second half, we committed a cardinal sin. We sat back. We invited them onto us. We dropped deeper and deeper until we were defending inside our own 6-yard box. That is a death sentence. You cannot play with fear. The solution today is bravery. We must press high. We're playing at home. It is our stadium, our grass, and our heat. We must make the Egyptians uncomfortable in their own half. The Polokwane factor is real, but only if we use it. If we let them walk with the ball, they won't feel the heat. But if we suffocate them, every back pass, if we sprint at their goalkeeper, then the heat becomes our 12th man. They will get tired. They will make mistakes. We have to set the trap high up the pitch. Do not let them breathe. Do not let them settle into that slow, rhythmic passing game that North African teams love. Disrupt them, harass them, break their rhythm. We look to the leader, the captain's role, Yusuf Mart, and the tempo. This game will be emotional. It will be frantic. There will be moments where Masry tries to counter-attack with speed, and there will be moments where the game feels like it is spinning out of control. This is where Yusuf Mart earns his armband. He is the thermostat. He controls the temperature. His responsibility today is game management. When the Egyptians break, Mart must be the one to break the play, even if it means a tactical foul. Take the yellow card for the team if you have to. Let them transition. And when we have the ball, he dictates the pace. If we are chasing the game,